about Raffi's name. How did you end up choosing that name for him?
I chose that because Raphael is an archangel. And when I met him, I thought he was an angel. He was a real love. So he's named after an angel.
Oh, how wonderful. And how did you come about a decision to adopt a dog?
I had always traveled a lot in my job, and I just couldn't have a dog because of that. And I recently, not retired, but went to work part-time, and I'm working from home now. So it just opened up a real opportunity to have a dog because I had the time, to spend with him that I thought was good for a dog and for me.
Tell me a little bit about your journey with the rescue organization and your search and how you got there.
Well, interesting, I just started looking on the internet. So that's really where I found him. I think that's an amazing way now that they're adopting dogs, because you can search whole databases with thousands of dogs. So I narrowed my search down, obviously, to the kind I wanted, because I really did a lot of research for what I thought would be a good fit for me. I knew I didn't want a dog that shed a lot. I didn't want a lot of hair, kind of a neat freak. So, I wanted a low-shedding dog. I wanted the size, because I live in an apartment, so I thought the size of the dog was important. I also wanted to be able to take long walks with the dog, so I wanted a dog with some energy, but not too much energy for an apartment, and the size. So I had looked at all those factors, and then I just started doing my search based on those factors on the internet. And you can choose size when you search, and you can choose type and things like that. So that's kind of how I came about finding him.
Oh, wonderful.
I wheedled him out of thousands of dogs. And he's perfect.
What sort of breed or mix was the guess for him?
Well, that was one of the reasons I was drawn to him. He was guessed as a Portuguese Water Dog, and but he's small for a Portuguese Water Dog, so he's obviously mixed with something. So I have no idea what he's mixed with, but he certainly he doesn't shed. He's got beautiful hair, and he has a lot of the characteristics that I've read about Portuguese Water Dogs. So smart,
Yes, very smart breed. And what sort of medical problems did you discover after you took him to the vet?
Yeah, that was interesting. When I had worked with the rescue organization, they had estimated him to be about 3 years old. And then after I got him, he was kind of, he would yelp when you touched his back leg, and kind of, just randomly yelped sometimes, and I knew he was in some sort of pain. And then he was scratching at his ears constantly. So I thought, oh, he must have, I thought maybe he had ear mites or ear infection or something with that. And then I thought something might be wrong with his leg. So that's why I took him to the vet just for a full checkup the day after I got him. And when I picked him up, I was surprised to find she felt that he was not 3, but maybe 6 years old, and that he had some problems with his hip, that he might have a little arthritis in his hip. And she also said that his ear was fine, but that his tooth, one of his back teeth was infected, and that probably would have to be pulled. So she gave him some antibiotics. She gave him the vet, and she gave him some medicine for his hip, for the pain, and told me just to watch him and then come back in about 10 days, and we would do a cleaning with his teeth and have that tooth pulled. And also to see, she was going to do x-ray once he was under sedation for the teeth.
Okay.
So long story short, he's doing great now. She pulled the tooth, the antibiotics work fine, he doesn't have an infection anymore. He also seems to, his hip, while she found a little dysplasia, it seems to be fine, so we think it was actually kind of a strain or something.
Okay,
so
that's good news.
Yes, yeah, good news. He's healthy.
What caused you to seek out a dog trainer?
Well, he's an angel, but he's good. He needed some manners. He was perfectly housebroken when I got him, and he knew one trick. He would shake for a treat. And kind of sit on occasion, but he certainly didn't, he wouldn't come when I called him. He pulls on the leash, so he just had some things that I wanted to work on his manners. He he certainly, I don't think he'd ever been trained, you know, and I thought it was really important because I want him to be around other people, and I want to be able to take him on walks and let him, you know, lay him off the leash on occasion, and I didn't want to pull my arm out of joint and pull, and he loves squirrels, he chases squirrels, so if he sees a squirrel on a walk, he's just off. So that, I thought it was really important to have a trainer, to have him trained professionally, because I knew I wasn't one, and I didn't know how to go about doing it. I hadn't had a dog in a long time, so it was important to me to have it, for him too, you know, to have him trained.
And just to share my experience picking him up for the first time, Raffi was enrolled in my board and train program. So on the first day, a couple days ago, that I came to pick him up for his training, he loaded fine into the car and everything, and I got him to my home where I initially start some of the training regimen. And he decided that the environment he was in, which was totally unfamiliar to him, was the time to exhibit behaviors that we had not seen.
No.
So he was growling and barking in the crate in the car, and then he also decided to lunge at the side of the crate as if attempting to bite me. So we sort of backed up in our training program and decided that muzzle training was a safe thing to do, which would allow Raffi to make mistakes and me to be able to help him out as we take this journey. So I came and gave some instructions. We got a basket muzzle, which he's starting with, and we're also having ordered a Jeffco muzzle, which we're waiting for. We want him to be comfortable, and so we've ordered a couple different types for him. So tell us a little bit about the muzzle training, how that's been going, and your thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, when you initially said muzzle, I had a little, you know, I thought, oh, I don't want to do that.
That's normal.
Yeah, but then, honestly, it hasn't bothered him at all. The way you showed me how to do it, you know, really slowly, and to get him to used to the muzzle before we actually put it, and let him kind of put it on, really was the way I saw it, rather than forcing it on him, which I would have done in the past, you know, not knowing. I'd probably just try to push it on him, and that wouldn't have worked. So actually the way you showed us to work together to do it was really good. Like it doesn't even bother him. He wears it around his neck and he thinks it's, you know, nothing. And I like that you call it a party hat.
We gave it a wonderful name. It's party time.
Yeah, and he took to it, and he doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Oh, good.
So it was easy. It was really, I was surprised. It was really easy.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And
thank you.
Taking this journey, and here we go.